Look at my name showed up first.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Bon Lewis, you're ready to rock and roll, I see already. Kelly, we saw you on the live. Chad and Amy, what's happening, guys? Chuck Zamzow.
Nem fam is in the house. I see my parents. Hi guys. Hi Fred.
Zoom user.
Yeah, they still haven't figured out how to change the Zoom username, but that's okay.
Zoom user.
Oh, Matt's in his Nem shirt. I see you, boy.
Nice shirt, Matt. Nice talking with you as well yesterday, Matt. Andrew Hardy, we see you.
Why are you echoing?
Am I?
Maybe,
Am I echoing?
maybe it's the coffee.
Oh. So anyways, I want to tell you guys what happened earlier. Peter asked, Emily was heading to the coffee shop. Peter decided, and Emily goes to like bomb coffee shops that have
It's a
like,
daily thing.
it's like massive amounts.
She probably could buy herself like a really expensive something if she put in a jar, because this is what she lives on. Like, she loves her coffee every day.
$6 for a cup of coffee.
Every day.
And
She doesn't miss.
anyways, long story short, the reason why Natalie won't shut up is because Peter gets a black coffee with 3 shots of espresso from
And a splash of half and half.
from a coffee shop that literally sells crack. And Natalie,
And I'm all for it. I'm here for it. And now, and I didn't even have like the full thing. Peter was like, "Hey, Nem, do you want to have the rest of my coffee? Because I can feel it that it's a little bit, kind of late at night." And I was like, "You know what, Peter? I don't think so, because I've been going to bed quite early and I get up early and all the things." And so he got me a cup and poured me a little bit. But you guys know,
how
we never have a little bit of nothing.
how funny is this? Like, I can't even like get a word in.
Finally, Chatty Natty is back, baby.
I wonder what your dad's thinking right now. I think
my parents are used to seeing lots of sides of Big Man. So, but I'll get it together. I'll be polite and I'll be quiet.
Do you see a guy named Ben up on here? I see Dr. Ben. There's Dr.
Hi,
Ben.
Dr. Ben.
Hi, Dr. Ben. We're excited to have you, Dr. Ben. We're a little wild on our Zoom, and but this is how we roll. Once we turn it over to you, Dr. Ben, we think that you'll be able to, bring us back in for a smooth landing and smooth transition. But I like to welcome everybody first and foremost to the Tuesday night Recover Out Loud meeting. I look forward to this meeting every week. And super, super grateful that you guys all show up every single week. I mean, we have like between like 40 and 60 people show up solidly on Zoom every week. If you're new, welcome. If this is your first time at the meeting, welcome. If you've been here for a while and you're struggling, reach out. If you're a regular, we do have a group chat on Instagram. If you're interested in being a part of our group chat, just go ahead and put your Instagram handle in the chat.
And it goes off.
Yeah, it does.
Like,
all
it's
day
really,
long.
really good.
All day long. And we got, our regulars, Matt, and Kelly, Chuck Zamzow. I'm trying to think who else is up in there. Amy's up in there all the time.
Wait, I don't see her.
I don't know. Amy? She's right there with Chad.
Mm-mm.
They're together.
Oh, wait. Whoa, Emily, you kicked me out of Zoom? Huh?
Kicked her out of Zoom.
Yeah, already acting up.
Um,
Not the first time.
Mama G. What's happening, Mama G?
Wait, where is she?
And then we got regular G. So we got Mama G, and then we got Charlie. G.
It's Charlie.
In the house tonight.
Wait, where is it?
Anyways, before I turn it over to the speaker, I just want to remind everybody why the Hopeaholics podcast exists. The reason why we recover out loud, because on 9/11 of 2022, I lost my son-in-law to the fentanyl crisis, to fentanyl poisoning, is what we call it around the Hopeaholics. And God put it on my heart to start a podcast and to be the voice for the people that have lost their lives, and to offer hope to people that are out there struggling, man, because I know what it's like to struggle. I was a chronic relapser and in and out of the program, and you know what? I know what it feels like to be hopeless. So the cool thing is we got the name the Hopeaholics because we went from alcoholics to hopeaholics.
That's right.
You know, is there anything else you want to say before we turn it over to Dr. Ben?
And just the typical, what I always say, which is, you know, all of us being on this Recover Out Loud and doing this on a weekly basis. Obviously, you know, sometimes we do it in person and all the things, and it's really just to break the stigma, because there's no shame in asking for help. And I think it's really important for us all spreading the word and letting other people know that they can too get help, and help's available and hope's alive. And I couldn't be more grateful to be a part of this team and doing what we do on a daily basis.
Yeah. So thank you guys all for
because if you guys didn't show up, I'd be talking to Chad. And
yeah,
he
it would
sure
just
as hell
be,
don't want to hear that.
it would just be me, Emily, Natalie, and then her parents and my parents, and then also G would probably still show up.
Yeah, Charlie would be here,
Yeah.
but he wouldn't say anything and turn on his camera. So
also a reminder, guys, we drop 2 full-length podcasts every week. I know we don't really do a lot of promoting about stuff. Primarily because we don't want to sound like a commercial. But
if they don't know, how are they going to know? So we need to start doing a little bit more of that. Just saying.
Do you guys think we should do a little bit more of that, or would you just rather hear us banter and then hear our amazing guest that's about to speak? But we do drop podcasts on Monday and Thursday, plus a Patreon, which is only a cup of coffee. Ooh. But if you guys want,
I like that. If you build it, they will come. Hell yeah, I'm with that.
I love that. That's actually the slogan that I'm using right now for my outreach program.
As you should. I mean, come on, Field of Dreams.
Yep.
Come on, baby.
It's also Noah's Ark. I want to let you guys know that God told Noah that if he built the ark, they would come. So it was actually before the Field of Dreams that happened.
Well, yeah, no, it's before the Field of Dreams. Come on, dog. Anybody that picked up the Bible once in their life would know that. I don't hope so.
I just watched a really good movie called Noah's Ark. It had not Kurt Russell.
Don't say the story because you don't know what you're talking about. Horrible storyteller.
I know, but when I know the story, I'm a good storyteller.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm gonna go ahead and.
So he'll take notes and report back next week.
I'll report back. Yeah. Dr. Ben.
Sorry, Dr. Ben. We're a wild bunch, Dr. Ben.
We hope that you can reel us back in.
Dr. Ben, I bet you're glad that you're not in-house, huh?
No, he's probably totally bummed he's not in-house today. Anything?
I think that's probably enough from us.
That's enough?
Or at least enough from Chatty Natty. Right?
Russell Crowe. Thank you, Lori SoCal. Amazing. It was with Russell Crowe. It's called Noah's Ark.
You saved him. Did you see how excited he got when he literally saw that name?
I read the comment or the chat while we're...
Way to go, Lori.
On here. Okay, guys, we have an amazing guest tonight, and apparently he is a doctor because on his his Zoom handle, it's Dr. Ben. Dr. Ben, we're going to turn it over to you, and we're going to mute our mics while you're speaking. So it's all you for the next 20 minutes.
Oh, my gosh. Wait, I forgot. I remembered. Sorry, Dr. Ben. I'm so sorry. Kathy D is always up in the chat, too.
Oh, Kathy D.
So I wanted to make sure we mentioned that, too, because I see you commenting always on people's whatever they're going through and giving amazing encouragement. So I didn't want to forget. Sorry. Dr. Ben.
Dr. Ben.
Apologies. Take us away.
My name is Ben. I'm an alcoholic. I'd prefer to be there so I could steal some of your coffee. I just got off a 10-hour shift, so I'm a little tired. And you keep calling me amazing guest. I'm like, okay, you're putting up way too much pressure. And I also want to make sure that I honor the room because I recognize different settings have different rules. Is there anything I need to know, or can I just go?
No holds bar.
No, there's no rules in our room.
You go a ham.
Yep.
That's how I fucking like it. Right on. Okay. So my sobriety date is 10/12/15. that's when a lot of things changed, but it took some time to get there. Yeah, as the guest said, yeah, I really am a doctor. I really paid a lot of freaking money to put some acronyms after my name. I'm a clinical psychologist. I work in a prison, and I just opened a private practice, so we'll see where that goes. But let's talk about the reason why I'm here. Me becoming a doctor was a side effect of the program. It's not a promise of the program. Okay, so just want to point that out. So my background, I was born BC before cell phones. My parents are deaf. So what that meant was that in order for somebody to get me in trouble, I would have to tell them, and that didn't happen. So that was my life in the beginning. Also, I also felt different considering I was raised by deaf parents. And if you've never been in that community, it is completely different than what you might think. Then I was raised that way. Then I go out in the street, and then the rest of the world was not like my parents, right? And not just that they couldn't, not that they use just sign language. Just basic behavior was completely different. So I didn't feel like I fit in my family, and then I also didn't feel like I fit on the street. The other fun part is I was the youngest and smallest on the street, so every day was fuck with Ben day. And then I learned, it took me a little while, that I learned if you punch somebody in the face, they're less likely to mess with you. I don't recommend that, but that was my experience. My introduction to my drug of choice, well, actually, my true drug of choice is more. You give me more, anything that makes me feel better, I want more of that. So that's what I want. But I was introduced to booze in the form of the Club. If you've ever heard of it, it comes in a little glass bottle, has a white travel cap on the top of it. It was a strawberry margarita, and I loved every moment of that. And I think I was 11. My parents, thought it was cute to say, "Hey, here, you want a little bit of this?" And I was like, "Yes, no, I want a hell of a lot more than that." It didn't take very long for me to go from there to becoming a blackout drunk. I was kicked out of my house a couple times while I was growing up. If you those who remember the reference, my nickname growing up in junior high and high school was Spicoli. Okay, so those who know the reference, bless you. Those that don't know the reference, stay off my lawn. But if you put something in front of me, I was going to use it, and you didn't have to tell me what it was. Okay, bottom line. So they say, "Hey, well, we got this." I don't care, just give it to me. So I had hair down the middle of my back, 4 earrings, the whole thing, and I couldn't stand school. So I did everything that I could to get just enough so I could pass. So I am pretty sure my high school gave me a high school diploma just to get rid of me. And I graduated with a solid 1.9 GPA.
Yes.
But I also had a bunch of family members that had been in the military. So I decided that path, and I'd had a job since I was 14. And my grandfather, who I respected a lot, probably recognized that I was going down a particular path and told me, said, "Okay, if you want to play hard, you need to work hard." So that stuck with me. So my work ethic was strong, but so was my ability to take in substance. And it turns out the Army's not cool with substances, but they have no problem with booze. So as long as, it was kind of an unwritten rule, as long as I didn't fall out of a run, you're good. Okay, so I could show up like smelling like glue. There was even at one point, I had a group of commanders that all had kegerators in their office. So booze was not a thing. I got married. I did go to Desert Shield, Desert Storm. I got married to my high school sweetheart when I was 18. My son was born after I got back from Desert Shield. He was born while I was there. I met him for the first time. He was 7 months old when I got back. So I'm, 18-year-old. Don't know anything about life. I'm married and I got a kid. And then the one thing about the Army, it's a pretty clear structure. If you want to get promoted, you do these particular things. It doesn't matter if they like you. It doesn't matter. It just matters on your performance on these particular areas. right? So it was a very easy, well, not easy. It was still, it took some work, but the concept was easy for me. So as long as I did these things, I'd get promoted. So I got promoted over the years, and the challenge with getting promoted is I got more pay. And the more pay I got, all of a sudden the tolerance for booze also went higher, And then after, and the thing I believe about substance use, there is no consequence that I think that would stop me from using, right? There's no amount of getting in trouble, or, most of the time when I did something dumb, I didn't even recognize it was dumb. I thought it was a war story. I could talk about that. Blacking out in different countries. I just thought it was a way to, show off a plaque and be cool. The years went by. My first marriage fell through. I got divorced on my daughter's 18th birthday, which pissed everybody off. And my ex-wife and my daughter moved to Virginia, and my son had stayed there. So then I got married 30 days later. I don't recommend that, but that's what happened to me. And my tolerance was fairly high. And I'm not going to try to impress a room full of people, of my people, that I can drink. Because I'm pretty sure if you and me went to a bar, we'd close the place down and do it again the next day. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that that's who I'm speaking to. Okay, but I love the Army. I really did. It was a part of me, right? It was my identity. The problem is my ego was also out of freaking control. Right. I got promoted to first sergeant. There's only one more rank on the enlisted side, which is sergeant major. So I had my first commander, and then I got the next commander. And I thought in my head that, since this commander sucks, I can just do that commander's job. Well, apparently the Army disagreed with me. Okay, I made some decisions that were the commanders to make, and the Army didn't appreciate it. So at one point, they gave me a choice. They said, you can retire with nothing, or you can retire with full benefits, but you're leaving. I was like, okay, well, I'll take my full benefits and leave. And that created a resentment where my level of drinking just went well over the top. Part of my story is suicidal ideation. So I have those thoughts on a regular basis. I still have them now. I got to a place where I was so pissed off that I couldn't drink myself dead. And that was my daily experience. So after, I got to a certain point and I was like, okay, I want to stop. And what ended up happening is I wouldn't drink through the day, right, at work. I would get home, and then, my handle would be right there, and I'd be like, okay, well, I'll just have a shot. And inevitably that shot would turn into an empty handle. And that was my little circle for about 5 years. Until one day it finally dawned on me that I can't do this by myself. So, but I didn't know how to stop. Then my daughter is pregnant with my first grandson, my first grandbaby. So I flew out to Virginia to be there for the birth. And I was there, almost 2 weeks. I don't know how many handles I drank while I was there. And I have a really close relationship with my daughter, but we will fight. Okay, we will argue. But after that trip, she dropped me off at the airport, and she said, with such love and kindness, "Dad, watch your drinking." And I couldn't get that friggin' statement out of my head. It spun and spun and spun. So I think the change that has to happen has to be inherent. It can't be a consequence. So that for me was the deciding factor that I needed to do something. So I called my insurance and said, hey, I need to go to rehab. And the first part of it was because I was like, hey, I need to go to rehab and I can't find a place. So they give me a whole list of places of rehabs, and it was all physical rehab. I was like, dude, my leg's fine. Okay, I'm trying to stop drinking. I need like a place where you can lock me up for a little bit, right? So I went to Charter Oak. For 7 days, I was in detox, which I know now, had I tried to detox on my own, I probably would have died. After that, I went to a residential program, it was about 30 days, and then went to outpatient. But that's when I was
Can anybody hear me?
introduced to the 12 steps. Right, during the charter experience, they have you do a therapeutic version of step 1, step 2, and step 3, and do a lifeline, and you talk about your whole past and things like that. It was very helpful. Then they say get a sponsor, so I get a sponsor, and he takes me through the steps, and he was my first sponsor. I have a second sponsor now. But the thing I really appreciated about him, he was always consistent. And he didn't play games with the steps. He had a very particular way that he was taught. And he said, okay, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this the way I was taught. So how the steps kind of impacted me. So the first one, for me, the first one was easy, right? They had a whole list of how people drink. So I read through that. I was like, yep, that's me. And my life's all over the place. Yep, that's me. That was easy. The problem was getting to step 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. The other problem is I'm a recovering Baptist, so I have certain feelings about organized religion and higher powers and things like that, right? So while I was in one of the groups, or while I was in one of the meetings, somebody said something that I needed to hear, because I was there for real, and I wanted to try this, but I knew I was stuck. So this person said, if you're struggling with the concept of a higher power, go run naked on a freeway. A higher power will come get you, right? And it's what I needed to hear in that moment, is that I don't know how the universe was created. I don't know who did it. I don't know what happened. All I know is I didn't do it. So something out there is stronger than me. And then coming to embrace that also means that anything that I don't know how to manage or don't know how to deal with, it's not mine. I could just hand it over. That's the fun part. So getting to step 3, making a decision to turn our will and our lives over the care of God as we understood him. Now I've got this thing that I don't completely understand, that I could say, hey, I've got this problem. I don't know what it is. I don't know what to do about it. Here's there. Also, the concept of praying, this is where I'm at. If you agree with it, cool. If you don't, that's cool too. Like when I was growing up, I think I thought God was Santa, okay? Because all I did was ask him for stuff, or I wouldn't talk to him at all. And then a cop would come next to me, and I'm praying that this cop don't pull me over. That was my kind of praying. And what the book says is completely different. It says, pray for understanding. Pray to be helpful to another. A completely different concept. Anybody who's been stuck on step 4, I highly recommend getting it done, writing it down, and moving the hell on. And I'm not judging you if you don't, because I stuck on step 4 for a little bit. I did the nonsense saying, well, I don't want to look at myself. Quite frankly, that's bullshit. Everybody in this room knows what we did. Everybody in this room knows what other people did to us. We already know it. Okay. And that's not the point. The point is how we show up when things happen, and what do we do with it? Admitted to God and ourselves, another human being, the exact nature of our wrongs. It spells out in the book that we don't have to tell our sponsor, but we need to tell somebody. Some stranger on a bus stop, dump on them. Okay, if that's the safest place to go, then do that. I've also had some folks that have been in the rooms that, if people knew their inventory, they could actually go to prison. So I recognize there might be reasons why you don't tell people certain things. Okay, so I'm not mad at you for that. I'm entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. Keep in mind, step 2 and step 3 is important in order to get to step 6, right? Humbly ask him to remove our shortcomings. Now I can just take and say, hey, look, these are the behaviors that I am not comfortable with, and hand it over, right? 8, made a list of persons we have harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. I highly recommend against, and this happens a lot. Sometimes we get into these rooms and we get 2 minutes of sobriety and we want to tell sorry to everybody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't fucking do that. Okay. Nobody cares. I fully believe in, I'm just going to tell you my language is I don't use the term I'm sorry anymore. I overused it. It has no value. Instead, I use it as the amends process asks me to do is, you know what? That behavior wasn't right. I'm not going to do that again. Because the difference is if I say I'm sorry, all I'm doing is pushing you, backing you off so I can act like that again. That's all I'm doing. And that's called manipulation. May relate to that. I don't know. Okay. May have heard that before. All right. Made direct amends to which people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure others. This is important. You're not, I don't need to make an amends like, I cheated on you. I don't need to make an amends that to that person because that's just going to harm them more. Right. So things like that, just be careful on how you do an amends. The amends process, this is what I think. I think the hardest amends for me to do is when I feel justifiably angry that a person did something. Okay. And I'll hold on to that resentment. And you read in a book what it says about resentments. It takes us out more than anything else. But think of it in this way. So like a dude's driving a car catches fire, pulls over. Another car comes over and looks like it's going to help him. Instead, he robs him and takes off. The person with the car on fire didn't do nothing to no one. However, if that person stays resentful, the person who robbed him gets to rob him every day. So this isn't about forgiving the behavior. This is about forgiving us and recognizing what happened. Okay. And it takes some work to get to that point. 10, continue to take personal inventory when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. So 10, 11, and 12 are our daily things. They're basically step 1 through step 9 every day. So if we miss something in the inventory, that's okay. We get the opportunity every day to fix that. So keep that in mind. That's why they say step 1 is the only one that you got to do perfectly. The rest of them, you fuck it up. That's okay. We got 10, 11, 12s. They're there for you. Okay. Sought through prayer and meditation. It gives full instructions on what to do first thing in the morning. My type of meditation that I like is an 8-minute forgive and forget. It is a guided meditation, and I don't have any excuses why I can't do that for 8 minutes. As busy as I can get, I got 8 minutes, right? But that starts the day and it puts my mind in the proper mindset. And then 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, try to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all affairs. Here's the thing that I think we miss in the message of the book, right? In the beginning of the book, it explains that when they're trying to develop these steps, that Bill was going out, doing his thing, sending the message, and the only person that was staying sober was Bill, right? The other folks were relapsing. But what I want you to think about that is in order to stay sober, got to give the message, which means encouraging somebody else to get to that point where they can then give the message also. And every message that I try to give is directly out of what I've read. I don't try to add to, I don't try to take away from it. For some reason, this worked in the 30s and it still works today. Doesn't matter. Booze or a substance, don't give a shit about your zip code, don't care about the color of your skin, don't care about what God you pray to. It doesn't care about any of that. It cares about getting you dead. So recognize that. We are all in the same challenge. It doesn't matter what path that you started at. We're all in the same boat. So here's the side effects. Oh, well, my time is up. So bottom line, because of that, I've now become a doctor with the, and I used to have a 1.9 GPA. So things can happen, right on. So yeah, well, I feel kind of, I don't want to take any more time because that was the thing. Love you guys. Please reach out if you need to. Thank you for asking me to show up, and thank you for keeping me sober today.
We would have let him keep going, but we were trying to unmute ourselves and we couldn't unmute ourselves. And you closed up, and I think you closed up nicely. But I do want to know. I'm going to ask you a couple questions because I want to know what you were about to go into some side effects. What's the side effects of doing the steps? I think you were going to talk about the side effects of doing the steps.
Right. So I want to touch on the promises. Okay, this book promises certain things, and I don't know of any other program that says that flat out. If you do these things, this is what you will receive. So what ended up happening, the side effects for me, is after I got about a year of sobriety, I decided to go to school, and then I earned two associate's degrees, and then I kept going. Then I was accepted to Cal State Fullerton for human services, got the bachelor's degree. Then I was accepted into Alliant University for an accelerated master's en route doctorate program. But what I'm saying is that's what the promises said is when that shit got hard, I would know what to do. So it doesn't mean that, we're going to have a shinier car, or we're going to have live in a better zip code, or that it didn't promise any of that. What it did promise is when things get hard, I've got an answer, I've got a solution, and I know what to do. Primarily, that's not I stopped using my own ideas and started getting my ideas out of my head and talking to people who were healthy.
Dr. Ben, you are dropping little nuggets, and it just is another testament of like what can possibly happen, because like you said, once you got sober, look at you now, you're a doctor. And obviously, as we all know, you don't just snap your fingers and become a doctor. It takes a tremendous amount of work and discipline and effort and all the things. But I would like to do a shout out because Emily and I are two Titans. So shout out to
right on.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the promises, you
For
know,
sure.
and Alcoholics Anonymous has the promises, man, and the promises, like they do come true, and a promise of the program is, you being able to complete your doctorate program and become a clinical psychologist. I mean, that's a gift of and I love that you called it a side effect of working the steps. It's a side effect of working this program. Mm-hmm. We get to live lives. I always say I'm living a life far beyond anything I ever imagined, because this isn't the life like what I dreamed of. Because I had like twisted, sick dreams before, and my dreams were to be like, I just wanted to be like a really good drug dealer that never got caught, that had all the beautiful trinkets around him, and the truth is I got way more than I ever expected. I have an inner peace inside. I have moments of true and real freedom, from self, from the bondage of self. I mean, that's why one of the things why I love the third and seventh step prayer of Alcoholics Anonymous, which I do, every single morning. Relieve me of the bondage of self, because the bondage of self I would have never been able, and I would never be able to graduate school and become a doctor. Being in the bondage of self. Not that I did that. I did something else. But, figuratively speaking on your life, it's amazing, dude. And I really actually enjoyed your share. I loved how you broke down the steps. My sponsor said the same stuff about some of the different parts of the steps, and especially the parts like, step 9. We made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. there's a part in there that's very important, and you really need to make sure that the steps. I saw Chuck Zamzow say the steps are in order for a reason. We don't start making amends because we have 30 days of sobriety.
Sure.
Because like how
Not
many
smart.
times have I had the 30 days of sobriety
Probably a lot.
and went and said sorry to somebody only to get drunk or loaded, a week later
Yeah.
to put them through worse than I put them through before. And the point that you made about I'm sorry. I'm with you. I don't say I'm sorry anymore. It's about an apology is that I have changed that behavior. Making an amends means that I have changed that behavior and I won't do that to you again. That's how my sponsor broke it down for me. And, and sometimes, it can be a year or 2 years before you fully get to the length. And sometimes it's like, God doesn't reveal somebody that we did damage to until 5-10 years down the road. And then that person shows up in your life and you're like, oh my God, now I need to make amends to this person, but I'm ready.
Or the opposite, where it's like, oh, hell no, I'm not making amends to this person for X, Y, and Z. And it's like, I remember saying that to my sponsor, and she was like, just wait, just sit on it. That's why there's like the columns, and you hopefully pick a sponsor that, does things in a certain way. And then, there's avenues, there's people that have passed away, and like, you write your letter and you talk about it with your sponsor, and then some go to the cemetery, some go to the beach. So like there's a way to do all of these amends that we are so technically really in fear about, regardless of the situation and regardless who they are. But that's why I think we're so lucky to have this toolbox, to have the steps the way that they are, because we're able to pull from them when life gets either really, really bad or really, really good. So I don't know. Oh, and Dr. Ben, thank you for your service.
Right on. Appreciate it. Well, when you'd said something was said where we forget that we might have done something to somebody else.
Yeah.
I think I was 9 years in, and a memory came back. I was like, "Oh shit, I did that." and it was more. It's still funny to me what I did, but it was wrong. So I got to work with my sponsor on that one. And the other piece, which I think is important, is when we have somebody that we're like, fuck that guy, I am not doing an amends, right? My current sponsor was like, how about you pray for him? And then I talked to, I still had a counselor at the time, and she was like, look, if all you got is bless that bitch, then that's where you start.
Yeah.
Bless that bitch.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much,
Yeah, thank you,
Dr.
Ben.
Ben, for coming and sharing your experience, strength, and hope, and your wisdom
After a
of
long
the program. Yeah, we appreciate that,
Yes.
especially.
The group chat has been going off where
Yeah, if you get a
loved your
chance,
share.
go read it. Read
Yeah.
lots of good stuff, a lot of good feedback on your share. Man, it's amazing. We've got 2 hands up. This is
Let's
just
do it.
incredible. So we're going to do Kathy, and then go ahead, Kristen. You'll close us out.
No, Kelly.
Huh?
Kelly just
Oh,
raised her
Kelly.
hand.
I was just playing. It's just
Being crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
funny.
Kathy, alcoholic. Oh my God. Thank you, Dr. Ben. I could listen to all 3 of you for like the next hour.
Kathy, don't say that.
And no, I really could, but you're all just on fire, and there's so much good stuff. And I can do hard things because of this program. Thank you, Natalie, for saying that. I needed that inspiration. I mean, at 56, I'm still finding out my purpose, and it's so important to be a cheerleader for others, and I'm learning how to do it for myself. But this program, I mean, I'm learning all the time. You guys are such a big part of that right now. I mean, in this move coming up, I did the tow package today. They actually put it on my little CHR, which is fucking cool. I mean, I've never towed anything in my life. I'm scared shitless, but I mean, I'm doing it. I'm doing the next right thing in front of me. And it took like 4 hours, which I wasn't prepared for that. I didn't lose my cool. I enjoyed my day. And then I got home and I'm trying to get some things done before this meeting and I can't get in the gate. It's going wackadoodle and I'm losing my shit. Like, and I'm like, really? But that is program and more will be revealed. I mean, the way you worked on the steps, and I mean, I love your perspective. I heard someone say something about a book you wrote. I need the name of that book, please, and thank you. But I'm just so grateful. I'm scared shitless to move, but I'm getting all kinds of inspiration, going through some hard stuff. Um, a friend just got diagnosed with cancer, and I can't stay and help because mom and my sister really need me. But I can help while I'm here. And instead of shrinking and, hiding my head under a pillow, I've just, I've walked through it. We've all walked through hard stuff. At least I get the honor of being a friend and being a loved, being just somebody who shows up no matter how hard it is. And that's this program. That's my walk with the Lord. That's you guys in my life. And I just want to thank you all so much and I bless you. And, you guys keep doing it and reach out because somebody will answer you. And love to all. Thanks for listening and being part of my recovery, you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Kathy.
We love you, Kathy.
I just wanted really quick, though. There was somebody in the chat earlier when Dr. Ben was speaking, or right when we opened up, maybe even before, that was struggling with, I think, alcohol. And I'm wondering if he's still on the meeting. Zach, we're here to support in any way that we can if you are still on the meeting. We'd also love for you to share if you're willing.
I wanted to say something too really quickly because I think it's important. We have turned our Recover Out Loud in-person meeting to our own little family, so I think it's really good to acknowledge accomplishments. And I want to shout out our boy Julian for Driver of the Year. That a baby I saw you posted on Instagram, so I just wanted to give you some love because sometimes, in these meetings especially, we share a lot of like the heavy and dark moments, but it's just another testament off of what Dr. Bob, or Dr. Ben. I feel like Dr. Bob just goes with the book,
Yeah, it does.
So that's another testament of the promises. So shout out to you, Julian, that a boy, that a baby, and I love watching you dance online.
Low-key influencer.
Get it, boy.
We love you, Julian.
Yeah, we love you.
Kristen.
Oh my gosh. Hey guys. What's poppin'?
You popping.
Listen, no, I'm popping and hella tiredness is what's happening. So what happened was I was laughing so freaking hard. Hold on, where you at? Okay, Dr. Ben, let me tell you. Okay, so I'm military as well. Okay. But I'm in the chair force. Not really chair force, but I'm in San Antonio actually, and I'm at a Wounded Warrior event, the Air Force Wounded Warrior event, because you know, people be getting fucked up. It's all right, it's all right. But I was in my Uber coming back, and let me tell you, I was cracking up when he was like, "Yeah, well, the military said you can't use substances," and I was like, "I understand." But it's funny because like my Uber driver was like, "What? What are you laughing about?" And I was like, man, and I told him about it, and he was like, no way, I just hit 2 weeks clean. And I was like, yo, that's dope. And so I gave him the link. And so hopefully we'll see him on next week, but that'd be super dope. But I just want to say thanks for your share today. Um, it's really cool to see like your progression because like coming from somebody who's in the military, like you know what I mean? Like you get out and then you're just like, man, like that was like a part of me, like you said, like family and stuff. But then like seeing that you're now like you know, I don't know if you're PsyD or PhD, but gonna go, I don't, isn't that PsyD or PhD? I don't know. Um, but it's cool because like my path, like I'm pursuing my master's in like sport and performance psychology, so like a CMPC. Um, and so it's cool just to see somebody like kind of go through a similar path like that, you know, and like come out on the other side. Like you said, you see like the promises and stuff. And so, yeah, it's just really cool to see that and super encouraging because I had like a weird brain thing. Like it's too many TBIs. I had like a weird little like incident today for a few minutes, but it's been good the rest of the day, and it's really nice to end out this long ass day today with this amazing meeting and like even better because like you know making fun of people in the army because you know they don't have no brains. So just kidding though. But I hella appreciate your share. It like made my night, helped it out a lot. So thanks. Thanks.
Thanks, Kristen. Kelly.
Hi, guys.
Hi,
I'm
Kelly.
actually coming to meet Kristen, and I'm here at the hotel, but I don't see her.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, Dr. Ben, thank you for sharing. I too am prior Army, so definitely could relate on a lot of topics with you. I had, of course, you know, I getting drunk and running for 2 miles is always fun. You know, did that like clockwork without any hesitation and then realized, you know, hey, this is kind of like the norm here and they don't really frown upon it, right? So it was, it was, I guess, like just what you did, you know, for lack of better terms. Got out, kept that pattern going, mingled cocaine into it, and then just went crazy. For a decade, got lost in that. And, uh, you know, I just didn't know what to do at this point in my life. And I got caught up with some state troopers. And now I'm sober 10 months. It'll be 10 months on the 27th. So, you know, my God's good and he's great. And I give him all the grace and all the glory because I can't do this without him. He has to get in my head before I do. I start off with the prayer. I'm working on I did the third step prayer for the first time a couple days ago and I liked it. So I'm going to continue that. Thanks for that, Chatty. Appreciate you. But yeah, I guess that's all I got for tonight. Thank you guys for letting me share. Thank you for your service, Dr. Ben. Appreciate everything and all the nuggets of wisdom you departed on my little brain. So thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Kelly. Wendy, and then Thomas, you bring us on home.
It was Natalie.
I did not do a thing. Wendy.
Hello, Wendy Alcoholic. Thank you, Dr. Ben, for sharing. I get the pleasure of seeing you more often. So I love that we log on to some of those meetings together in the morning. Yeah, you know, today has been an interesting day. You know, I agree that, you know, we can do hard things and we can get through hard things. And, you know, the trick is for me that no matter what, I don't drink or use. And if I can stay clean and sober, then I can get through the hard things, right? That being able to pause and breathe and get through it and talk to someone else. And you know, today's a rough day for me. Today's an anniversary of a death, and you know, it's been weird feeling. It's been weird feeling. I had zero anticipations of what I was feel or how it was going to be because every year, I don't know, it's different every year, you know. But I woke up this morning and I was like, okay, let's go, right? Or today's a good day. Like I claimed it. Today's a good day. We're going to work. We're doing this. We're doing that. And then it was like instantly, I swear, one thing after another, one thing after another. I can't tell you how many times I stopped and I said, what the fuck? Like, I was just like, what the fuck? Right? Like, I'm trying so hard, right, to not let this be anything. And I don't know. It just took a lot for me to get through the day. But I have to tell you that one of the things that I was looking forward to was logging on, right? My program has saved me all day. You know, I did my morning ritual stuff. I taught, I did my work, and then I met with a sponsee. Like I set myself up for success today. I met with a sponsee, and then from there, I had lunch with my mom, right? I knew I was coming on tonight. But you know, I tried to make a nice dinner. It was a shit show, right? Came home, cat litter's jacked up. Like, I don't know. But here's the thing. These are things that would have fucked me up before. These would have been great reasons to drink and use. This would have been a good excuse. You know, little things, right? Life sometimes just turns me upside down. And today, it's just not the drink or the drug isn't the answer. Um, I paused today and I was sharing with one of my classes that the horrific things that's happened to me, the traumatic things I've walked through, have actually put a fork in the road for me and have put me exactly where I need to be in this time, right? This place, right? All the things that I've gone through led me to this moment. And I have so much gratitude for today that I can't say anything that's happened has been a waste or it doesn't have a bigger purpose, right? 50 years old and I'm still finding my purpose too. But I'm not going to stop searching. I'm not going to stop looking for it. And I'm not going to stop going for it. I believe that we take all this pain and we take all of this and we turn it into something beautiful. And it's all about helping others, right? If I can get out of my own fucking way, things turn out really good, right? You know, life is just life. It's not happening to me. I'm just experiencing it and it's beautiful. So, you know, I got through the hard day. And tomorrow is my son's birthday. So I'll be finished with this. I'm more worried about my kids. So 9 years ago, my husband committed suicide the day before my son's birthday. Right. So like I'm dealing with that, but I'm so worried about my kids. So if you're someone who prays and does that, you know, lift my kids up, pray for them because they're still hurting even 9 years later. And, but for me, I'm taking that pain and helping others. So that's my purpose today. Thanks for listening to me.
We love you, Wendy.
That was a beautiful share. I mean, all heart right there, all love. That's what this program is, man. The program is love. You know, God is love, all love, and you will definitely be putting your children in our prayers,
for sure,
Wendy.
And same with you, Amber. I just saw in the chat that tomorrow is the 3-year anniversary of your sister-in-law's death from the disease. So big prayers for the recovery family. Bring us on home, Thomas.
No, there's another. We got another.
We
got another one.
Oh, okay. You'll bring us on home, Demarius. I think I'm butchering your name, so I'm really sorry. I know that you. I know that you pronounced it.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it just because.
But I sounded it out in the chat. Demarius.
Thomas, you're up, buddy. We're unmuted, and Natalie's just still talking. No worries, buddy.
It's the coffee guy. Sorry.
I'm an alcoholic.
Thomas.
That's another one of my close AA family, Damaris. And I got picked up from work, and my significant other, Lori, actually was like, I got a meeting invite for Hopeaholics. And I was like, Hopeaholics? Like the Hopeaholics? Like the Recovery Out Loud? Like I've been following them for months. Like that's dope. Let's do it. And yeah, sure enough, man, I've been following you guys since I really got sober and was looking for some other, you know, Recovery Out Loud is me. I'm a loud person naturally before I went into the military. So to hear Dr. Ben talk about being in the military, it definitely hit home for me. 7 months sober, looking at 8 months on the 19th, and going strong. I've been told that I was a man of action in the program, and that's what it takes to get sober and stay sober. And I found a sponsor that really I connect to. His father was a military vet, and I just can't explain anything that's been happening to me, because it's not me or any human that's gotten me this far. It's the work I've put into my spiritual contact and praying every day, you know. And I'm not perfect. I don't pray every day, but I try and be as spiritual as possible. And man, I never thought I would ever get 7 months after 20 years of using and abusing. I had multiple family members pass away, and the most recent was my dad drinking himself to death. And I'm doing this for myself, but also to, you know, break that family curse, and be a better version of myself, so I can show up for myself and show up for the ones that love me, you know. And that's my purpose-driven lifestyle today. and I have so many support, so much support in these rooms. Like right after this, I get into my men's meeting at 7 p.m. every night, and I'm just blessed to be able to speak on it and say, you know, I've been sober for 7 months. That's insane. I never would have been able to do this by myself. And through this program and my decision every day to, you know, give my will away and just trust that I have a support system in this program and my God to lean on and keep me strong is just a blessing in itself. So thank you, Thomas Alcoholic.
Thank you, Thomas. Damn Arius. Did I say it better? No?
It was very, very close, but like you grew up with my name, you hear it said different many ways. It's actually Damaris.
Damn, I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. I forgive you. I blame my parents if that helps. I was gonna say, thank you, Crystal G. She's that's my little my little big sister, you know, in the rooms, and she actually invited me here. I got other family members here too. I got JJ, got Thomas, I got Lori. You know, we all attend other meetings together. We trudge this road together. But in reality, you guys we're all connected, right? Because we're all royalty, man. We're all daughters and sons of a king. And I'm so grateful that you guys have this platform, that you guys did something good with the platform that you guys created. I love the Hopeaholics. You know, I was a dope dealer, now I'm a hope dealer.
That's right.
And so that's how I relate to that, you know. And I love this so much. And I was just texting my friends and I was like God is in this room. Like, it's so crazy. I get like this weird, like tingly feeling through my whole body when I know like the spirit is here and it's here. It's like overwhelming here where it's like, my whole body is almost like on fire right now, and it's beautiful. I love this so much, and they were right. I was gonna love this. You know, I didn't think I can get 5 minutes sober. You know, and if you're here and you're new and you're still trudging this road, like I'm here to tell you, like relapse doesn't have to be a part of your story. You know, 3/13/19 is my sober date, and I thank God every single day for that date, every single day. You know, but I do what is asked of me. I go to meetings. I talk to another addict or alcoholic. I pray and I meditate. I have commitments. I work with my sponsor, you know, and I do this thing through and through. And you know, I'm that kind of person. My friends can attest to this. I'm that kind of person that's never going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you probably what you need to hear. And I'm very brutally honest because I think real people tell you the truth and they don't sugarcoat shit. I'm more like IKEA. Here are the pieces. You put that shit together. You know, come see me when you figured it out. But I'm really grateful. I just want to say thank you so much for having this platform. And it's great to see all these recovering faces in here. Thank you.
Dude, I loved your share. Awesome. And I love the fact that you guys all rallied together to hop on this meeting and spreading around. So,
yeah, the your guys' group, man, we love you all. You know, we kind of like Wendy, you know, Michael, and everybody that has shared on the Recover Out Loud meeting for the last, since July. You all have been incredible. Most of you are from the same area and the same, you know, group, and your guys' recovery is so strong and so amazing. And I agree with you 110% that God is in this room, because what I always say is that God only lives in the here and now. So if you're here and you're present at this meeting and you're listening to what I'm saying right now, and you're in this moment in time, so is God. That is where he lives. He doesn't live in the past. He doesn't live in the future. He lives right here. And I can tell you guys, when I have peace, when I feel good inside, it's because I'm living in this very moment, and I'm not worried about what I'm gonna do next. And that's a beautiful thing, you know. And I learned that through prayer and through meditation, right? The 11th step. That's where I've learned this, and I get moments of it because I'm not the best at meditation, but what I have been good at is is coming on to this podcast or into this meeting and spending time with people that I would have never spent time with had my son-in-law never passed away from this disease as well, from fentanyl. And through that tragedy has been one of the biggest blessings in my life, right? This community that we have built. You all are the Hopeaholics, and God gave us this name. And it's just been one of the most beautiful things that has ever happened in my life. This is part of my service work. Anything that, and I don't know if I've ever said this on this meeting, but I say it often on the podcast in different areas. God has blessed us with this platform. God blessed me with Natalie as a co-host. I don't know if everybody, looks her up and knows who she is, but she is a total diva, a reality TV star and a WWE superstar wrestler. And like, she has 12 years of sobriety, and God set her up to be a part of this platform way before this platform ever existed, and she didn't know it was going to happen, and I didn't know it was going to happen. But what was my real life? My real point is, like, the Hopeaholics is you all, at the end of the day, the Hopeaholics is our community that we're building, and we're going out, and, lives are getting changed and lives are getting saved. It's amazing and so beautiful to me. Oh, what I was going to say though, is that everything that we get from this recovery community goes back into our community, and we do live in-person events, and a lot of you that are local in the area show up to our events, and they're so incredible, And the other last thing that I want to say before I let Devon close us out is that the DMs, our DMs, like, so many people have come and just been like, you know what, I was hopeless and I didn't think I was going to be able to stay sober, and I found your podcast, and I've been listening to episodes of your podcast, and I didn't get loaded today. And that's everything to me, because the whole reason why this exists is so that another family member doesn't have to get that phone call that somebody has died. Because, like, I know what that feels like. I know what that phone call feels like. And, like, it probably feels different to everybody, but, like, the truth is like, I went into, like, savior mode, like rescue mode, because it was my daughter that was in pain, and it was a while after that before I even, like, dealt with my feelings or felt my feelings. But this podcast has given me a purpose, beyond any other purpose. Because if you all don't know my story, like, my story is that my daughter saved my life. The day she was born, I found I found my purpose, and my purpose was to be a dad, and to also help people that suffer with the same thing I suffer from. And it's the same thing that you all suffer from. We suffer from the thoughts in our brain. It's like our solution was putting a substance in our body. We don't suffer from alcoholism. That was a solution to our problem for so many years, or drug addiction. It's a solution for to our thoughts and to the way we think. And as Dr. Ben so eloquently put it out together, we have a new solution today. And for me and for Natalie and others like Dr. Ben, that solution is the 12 steps. Mm-hmm. It's not and we're not saying that's the only way, but that's what worked for me, and I'm living a life beyond anything I ever imagined, and, I'm going to shut up now. Thank you guys for all coming. And Devon, close us out real quick.
Yes, for anybody, for anyone that's brand new, our meeting usually just goes till 7:00, so it's not like a normal thing of us going over. So that I just want people that are brand new to this meeting and it being the first time, that's usually the get down. But we always let everybody share that wants to share. So, Burning desire. Go ahead, Devon.
Hanaka ko Divan ko, velo ki yellow when we can 3 days, 4 days. So getting there slowly. But can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I got new headphones. It's just like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's like my brain. Anyways, doing great. Tomorrow I'm actually trying, not trying, I'm fucking going. I gotta stop psyching myself out and saying that I'm not gonna go because I know I'm going. Dr. Ben, I believe, thank you for your share. That was awesome. And I'm going to treatment tomorrow and I'm going back into rehab and it's like, fuck, I did this dance where I went, maybe I won't go. Yeah, I'll go. Nah, maybe not. And I've just been going back and forth, right? And it's like, for my sponsor, and she's like, fucking go. What harm is it gonna do? Go. And so found a really nice place in LA, but with that I spoke to my mom today and when I come back from Hawaii on the 20th, I leave on the 20th, I come back the 28th, but I'm going back because one, my daughter is having a baby, right? My first grandchild is being born, and I'm gonna bring my son back with me. And it was this decision that I made today. Like, talking to my mom because my mom is my coach. Like, she's my solid foundation at home, right? And I get to. And I'm kind of nervous, guys. I haven't had my son in about a year, right? April would make a year. So in about a year, right? And he's 3, potty trained, but I haven't had him. I'm really scared of him, right? And it's like, bitch, you got 3 kids before him. Like, you can do this, right? I know I got this. But he's a big part of why I need to stay clean. Right? He is the biggest part of why I have to. Because I can't bring him to California and then get loaded again. Like, that's gonna fucking be stupid. And so I made decisions today that will affect my life, but in a good way. And I'm ready for it. Right? Am I ready? Yeah. Do I have to be ready? Yeah. Because his dad's really not doing anything positive for him. So, but I know as long as I stay plugged in, I found a meeting up the road that I can get to, and it's cool. I'll be cool. But with that, you guys need to hear, welcome home, welcome to a new way of life. Is coming back from a relapse with myself. Welcome home. Welcome back. I'm glad you made it back. And if nobody's told you that they love you today, I love you, and there ain't no damn thing you can do about it. Love y'all. All of us.
Love you, Devon. Stay the course. Stay tight. And stay with it.
All right, guys.
Lie to him. Lie to him. Lie to him. Let's go.
It's about that time. I need everybody who's willing
My
to
dad's favorite part.
Put on their cameras because
Come on, Fred.
Y'all know. Dr. Ben, you don't know, but you're about to find out. We are the only meeting on Zoom in the whole entire universe that dances out. And here's where it's not a lie. It's the only one that I know of.
That's
so
right.
if you all know of any other meeting that dances
Don't tell
out,
Chad.
let me know. I mean, I don't want to be a liar. I might show up
if
to
you
the
don't
meeting
know,
to
then
dance out with
then
them.
you're not lying.
And I see Joe B. He's ready. Joe
B and his wife B.
Joe, I'm going to be watching your square to see if you actually dance out tonight.
And your wife B.
Oh, yep. Are you going to take it off for us? Because remember when you used to be a stripper when you first came
Stallion. Come on, Stallion.
on the show. We know that not everybody knows, but look at Kathy. Kathy might have been dancing on tables back in the day. Boom.
They got their dollars ready.
Yeah. All right, Emily, go ahead and hit that button. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can,
and the wisdom to know the difference. We love you guys. Thank you. Thanks, Dr. Ben.
Thanks, Dr. Ben.
Recording.